Good day everyone, welcome back to BST African Electronics Surgery. I just came here for a few urgent jobs. We have this laptop which is coming from another computer repair shop. So they opened already, the laptop is open. And what the story with the laptop, this is an HP 250G G4 G5. Should be G3 HP 250 G3 motherboard. So let's see what the laptop is doing. 19 volts. 19 volts. Let's start the tip for the HP. On HP you must have light here when you plug in. You can hear the sound of the power supply. Check what the power supply is. Is it clicking? Huh? And voltage dropped to 4 volts and taking 3.6 amps. Huh? Now it's no longer clicking. So if you see something like that on the power supply, that means short to ground. And how big is the short? This is a very strong short. Because let me see what current did we set on this power supply. The power supply is set on 3.6 amps. Exactly it's taking 3.6 amps. I don't think the short is before the input MOSFET. It should be after the input MOSFET. Mostly we have a shorted, can be a MOSFET, but this looks like a, the component that is most likely to fail, a capacitor. This looks like this is a capacitor which is shorting 19 volts to ground after the input circuit. But we'll see. We'll see. What I'll do, I'll plug in the power supply again, and we'll try to feel what is taking that current. Was that 3.6 amps is going somewhere. Trust me, it's going somewhere. Hey. Here we have a blown up chip. Here, okay. I think I just found the problem. Let's check out the motherboard. This must be a very quick repair. Let's check out the motherboard so that we'll see what's going on here together. Check out this motherboard. From this side, yeah, the motherboard is very dusty. We do have the all-in-one processor. So what do we have here? ENE, that's the startup chip. We have the BIOS battery. We have those power supplies, coil. This looks like the 3.3 and 5 volts power supply. Okay. More capacitors, coils. You can see the startup chip, ENE. We have the place that the charging port connector here. And we have the big MOSFET, small MOSFET and current sensor. Let's check from the current sensor to ground. And it's 0, 0. I'll show you what did I see on this motherboard. Let's go under microscope. I'll show you what I see. Exactly here. What do you think about those? Let's see what's going on here. That's the motherboard. We are just inspecting the motherboard just to see. Here, I found those capacitors. You see those capacitors? Those ones. The capacitors, this capacitor is blown up. Hmm? Okay. On the other side, we do have many components. Here is the input section. We have the charging port. The plus is coming here. To this, we have either as a transistor or a MOSFET. After that, we have those two inductors in parallel mode. We have the first MOSFET, which is a big MOSFET. After the MOSFET is going straight to this small MOSFET and to this black thing, that's the current resistor, current sensor. And from this point, that's the VCC point. It's going everywhere. So my problem, I think, is here on those capacitors. Here. So I don't want to waste time. Let's take down those capacitors. I want to take both capacitors. So ceramic capacitors, they are dying so easily. I know one capacitor was cracked, but I will replace both capacitors. I will replace both capacitors. I'm replacing capacitors here. Our capacitors have been replaced. The second problem, we have this chip here. You can see this chip. This chip looks like it has a hole. And ALC 3227. What kind of chip is this? Let's do some, like a small research. What kind of chip is this? Desktop. I need to search about this chip. ALC 3227 IC datasheet. Datasheet. What kind of chip is this? This looks like an audio IC. Rutec audio power amplifier. That's the one which is responsible for sound on a laptop motherboard. Low power dual interface, what blah blah blah, audio. 2 stereo digital analog converter with what stereo. Speaker amplifier DC. So yeah, this chip, that's the audio IC, which has blown up for some reasons which you don't know. So we have to replace that chip. Let me look for replacement. Let's try to find out the replacement here. Any replacement here? Oh, I found some board. Check our chip. ALC 3227. That's our chip. That's our chip. Let's take down that chip quickly. Our chip is out. Let's check out that one for the blown up chip. You can see the hole on top of the chip. So basically the chip just exploded. The chip is out. Let's clean up the motherboard. Now chip position. Now let's replace that chip. We need more flux here. Hopefully I've done a good job here. Just hoping that we've done a very good job here. Mm. So now let's cool down the motherboard. Mm. Let's cool down the motherboard. Just to ensure that the chip is cool. Let's test now the motherboard. Let's test now. We need this frame. Let's test to see if this was only the problem or we have so many issues. Because this is some job from other technicians, they won't pay much. So what I need to know to see is to see if this motherboard is now turning on. Plug in the power supply. Same port. Now it's taking 16 milliamps. And you can see the light. Maybe you can't see, but we have light there. That means the 19 volts is now okay. The 3.3 is now okay. We can confirm that with the help of the multimeter. Let's see on these capacitors where we replaced 18.94. Okay. 3.3 on the switch button. 3.24. Let's try to short the pins to ground. First pin, second pin to ground, and the motherboard just came on. And we have picture. What happened? Came on and goes off. Again. Second pin to ground. And it's taking 825 milliamps. And our audio IC which we replaced is very cold. So yeah, the laptop came open, so you have to close it because after all it's about time. But the basic thing, the most important thing is our laptop is now working. No bootable device. Boot device not found because the hard drive is not connected. But the laptop, the motherboard is now working. That's the most important thing. That was a shorted capacitor to ground. I don't know if the audio IC was I don't think even if you take out this audio IC, the motherboard has to come on. Because this has nothing to do with the 19 volts power line and the 3.3. Even if you took out the audio power amplifier IC, the motherboard must come on. So the job is done. Like, subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell for future updates. And also share our videos to beloved friends, relatives all over the world. And see you on the next game. Bye.